So this video is kind of different. You know, okay, if you haven't watched my videos before, I sometimes like reference back to like athletics to make a better point and maybe help some people understand that, maybe you're an athlete watching this video and you can like understand where I'm coming from. But I'm just going to say that one of these motivations that actually drives me to make these videos every day is to just not let other people make the same mistakes I did, because whenever I was pushing myself to become a better athlete every single day, I never had people tell me that it's more important to work on your mental than like just your physical and your tactical skills. And I feel like a lot of athletes get the common misconception that, like with hard work they can get to where they want to go. Like hard work is obviously like important, but honestly, I think the better you are like working smarter and just keeping it simple, and not only that, like making sure to rest. Like people on social media tell you to grind all the time. They're just like, you gotta wake up at 6 a.m. You gotta get up early, and there's nothing wrong with it, because like I really respect people who do that. But if you're not getting at least 8 or more hours of sleep, and you're not having a couple off days throughout the week, or you're like scared to take off days because you might lose your progress or you might come back washed or something like that, that's just a sign that you know you don't believe in yourself fully. Like the best athletes are willing to take days off because they know that, like, in order to perform the highest, they have to take a pit stop. Like, just say you're driving in a car, you're on a road trip, you can't go the full way to your journey. Like, you have to stop and get gas every once in a while. Also, don't take any guilt on yourself for, you know, having a couple days off. You know, I ended my high school senior year and it was horrible. It was just filled with injuries. I was burnt out. I was lacking confidence. Most importantly, I just wasn't enjoying what I was doing. Like every single day, I was basically like, I was practicing what I preached in the wrong way. Like I was one of those people who had to force myself to come to practice because I hated it. I'm not saying you're always gonna want to come to practice every single day, but almost every single day I dreaded it because I blamed other people that, you know, I wasn't firing or I wasn't performing well, and it was because of my coach, or just because of the environment or something, or like I missed club soccer instead of high school. But I think that deep down, what I really needed was just like a break, because I spent the whole summer absolutely working my tail off. Like I'm talking like 2 to 3 sessions every single day, and like for months until like my high school season started. And like in the moment, it made me feel good. It made me feel ahead of everybody else. But as the season went on, first game of the season, I get injured. I was like, I'm gonna knock it off. But then, came back. Something was different. It was like my body like wasn't working how it once did. Like I feel so like stiff. Like what's going on? And then like I was like, maybe I gotta practice more, get back into it. Body felt worse. I kept trying to practice, after I had team practice, and after that I had homework, and I only got like 5 hours of sleep a night. And yeah, it just wasn't a good like routine. Looking back at it now, it's like I really wish that I would have taken care of myself more, because like yes, expectations were pouring down on me to perform as I was a senior, and like I wanted to do better for my team, but I just couldn't. Like those expectations got to my head, and like everything that like I was so scared of just drove me to practice out of fear, not out of love. I was scared that I wasn't good enough, so I kept practicing after team practice. And I think that's the worst thing you could do to yourself, is practicing out of fear instead of practicing out of just the enjoyment of your passion. I'm not saying this doesn't apply to just sports, but sports can be chopped and screwed in so many different ways, and you can look at like the lessons you learn, you can apply it to your life. That's why I really think it's so valuable that I come on here and just talk, because like surely I can't be the only one going through this. But yeah, I'd say if you're a young athlete, like even if you're a junior below, I'd say that, whenever people tell you that like this is gonna be a really high environment next year that you get into, or like it only gets harder or something like that. I mean, yes, it does, but to be honest, you kind of adapt to each environment you put yourself into, and it's up to you on how well you can actually like figure out just what works for you and what doesn't. I thought practicing a lot worked well for me because you know stupid me always thought that like after I practiced a lot during COVID, I got a lot better. But soon you start to realize that you can only get so much better physically before mentally it all starts to catch up to you. So everything you do with your life is just controlled by your mind, and it's super important that you really just you put yourself first and you start taking care of your mind, bro. Have a couple designated days off, because it's not easy to just you know go full fire every single day. Like, life is not a grind, it's not a sprint, it's not even a jog at this point, it's just a walk. It's like, how well can you like allow yourself to slow down and just appreciate what you have before it's gone? Because I'm about to graduate in a couple months, and I'll never be a senior again. But on an athletic standpoint, the thing that I really wish I did was just focus on my mental. Because I've always had the physical like skills, I've always been one of the most skilled kids, but mentally I've always been weak. But now it's different, because I'm so like, I'm not saying I'm a pro or anything like that, or I'm not saying I'm super tapped in all of this like mental standpoints for athletes, or just like in person anyways. But I'm just saying I was better than I once was, and I'm really proud of that. But that's not going to satisfy me, because what good is it with me having all this knowledge if I can't be unselfish and share it to other like young or maybe even old people, just waiting to hear something, you know? Like waiting for them to tell them that, hey, maybe this might be the wrong way to do it. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. I'm really keen on that. And, now instead of practicing like multiple days a week, I just go a couple days, but I make sure it's quality, and I make sure I'm enjoying myself. And, I see myself getting better every day, but I just feel more enjoyment because I'm not so burnt out anymore. Like, when you're so burnt out that you can't even enjoy like what you once did, that's when you need to like realize that, okay, I need to step back right now. Like, some people say, oh, you need to go harder, you need to like fight through the flame. I fought through the flame and I got burnt up, man. So I'm telling you, instead of trying to fight it, use it. Don't fight the flame. Let it like fuel you for later. Like, let those like, oh, I'm burnt out. Like, let it fuel you to be like, all right, I'm not where I want to be right now. I'm gonna step back, realize what I'm doing wrong, and then I'm gonna come back well rested, and I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna be in a new perspective, because I'm gonna be enjoying it more because I'm not so burnt out. And yeah, man. But that's just one thing I really wish I would have done, at least for my senior year. Obviously, my junior and sophomore, I was just lacking confidence. But just make sure you always take care of yourself too. Like, it can be so easy to take care of other people, or like just get caught up in your responsibilities. But like, make sure you're your best for other people too. Okay.